everyone, and welcome along. My name is Chantal Broderick, and thank you so much for joining us today for this very special broadcast. Now, throughout COVID-19, the Fitness Business Podcast is supporting you with interviews with fitness owners and managers from right across the globe so that we can get an insight into what they are doing in their businesses throughout this challenging period of time. Now, today's interview is brought to you by our podcast partner, Team Rockstar Fit. And my special guest for today is the president of Gymnazo, Paden Hughes. Now, before I introduce you to Paden, and she's ready to go, take a quick listen to this. Their business, Gymnazo, is still billing $60,000 US per month, even during COVID-19. Intrigued by that? Let's welcome along Paden so we can hear all about what they're doing. Paden, welcome, and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. I love this show. I think you do a great job, and it's just an honor to be part of what you're doing.
Well, we are so intrigued to hear about what you have been up to, because I can tell you right now, from all the conversations we've had so far, there are not a lot of people that are still billing that kind of money throughout the COVID-19 crisis. So we would love to hear what you've been doing, because from my understanding, Gymnazo has been able to retain 90% of your clients. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've been doing and what your strategy has been?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have about 450 clients, and our entire goal, once we realized, I think like most of us, we went through a denial phase about what COVID-19 would mean. And with every 24 hours, there was some new emotion or new information that was changing the entire orientation. It was hard to know and keep ahead of what was happening. But I knew the week before California shut down into shelter-in-place directives or mandate, we watched our capacity drop from 86% in our classes to 33%. And I just knew, even if it was just a PR stunt, because at the time I thought that might be exactly what we're doing. We're shutting because it feels right, and we don't want to make people feel like we're part of the problem. We closed down, and I just said, we need to have an email in our members' inbox Sunday night. And that was Friday. So it's Friday before, a week before we went into shelter in place. And so over that weekend, we filmed videos. We went through and we filmed a month worth of body weight exercises that you could do with knee pain, that you could do with low back pain, that you could add a weight to if you wanted to. But the assumption was living room, 6 square feet of space, and one person. And we videoed it. We uploaded it into a platform called Coach Now. We went and then added our existing members. We didn't even offer the option to go on hold. I'm very, very passionate about that. I'd love to spend more time on it, but the reality is most people have already made that decision. And so I don't want to dwell too much on that. But what I will say is we didn't give an option. We never even put out there that online could be less value. We never even assumed that going on hold or canceling was a real option that we would at least bring to the table. And our entire marketing message from moment one was, you've entrusted us with your health and your wellness. We will not let you down through this crisis. We will be the bright spot. We will meet you in your living rooms. And we will deliver more value than you could possibly use through this time, because we care about you, we love you, and we know you need us now more than ever. That was our entire mindset.
I love that you got on the front foot with this. It was action stations from the get-go, as you said. Like, you spent that entire weekend filming video. And I just want to rewind a second, because I know did you say you've got 450 active members? Did I get that number correct? Tell us just a little bit about your club structure. Like, you offer group fitness classes. Do you have personal training? Just tell us a little bit about the club so that we can picture what it looks like in our heads.
Sure. So we're basically an adult playground with fitness. I would say 66% of our memberships are for small group, circuit-based strength and cardio style training. So full body workouts, 3-dimensional plane of movement, very dynamic, very functional. And we have 3 different levels of intensity, and movement literacy is how we talk about it. And I think in the training world, we get what that means. If you're just a little bit awkward, you have a tribe that can be yours and welcoming and wonderful. If you're really on the competitive side, we have a different group where you belong just as much. And so then there's that middle of the road group. We also offer customized programming through semi-private, and that's where it's custom workout delivered by a coach to 4 clients, partial soft tissue work, partial allowing them to facilitate their own movement with our custom workout. And then we do some one-on-one. But our bread and butter is movement therapy. And so outside of the group training and the semi-private, a lot of our exclusives or personal training is taking people who have movement dysfunction, who have been outside of physical therapy, and now they're trying to get back into their fitness. And there's this gap between their level of confidence as well as their capability, and we fill that gap. And now we have an ecosystem of services where we fill them. We kind of say, okay, you're in pain, let's get you out of pain. Right now you're over here, let's get it customized for what you exactly want. And now, by the way, here's our suite of group training services for you, and we retain a huge amount. I would say our churn annually is under 3%. So it's crazy.
Yeah, and it just sounds like a very holistic view of fitness and wellness is what you're incorporated in that. And so Paden, what I'm interested to understand is, because right up front we were talking about that, the amount that you're still actually billing, and I assume that you've got like those levels that you just talked through, you've got kind of your standard membership model, but then I'm imagining like your personal training and some of your group fitness, your small group training is an additional cost to a base membership fee. Is that correct? Because what I'm keen to understand is that 60,000, roughly what percentage does that represent of your overall income?
So overall, we are a 7-figure a year single location gym. And so it's below what we were used to a month ago, but we're okay because surviving is almost the equivalent of thriving in this current space. So we're down on revenue because we're not getting some of those additional upsells and downsells and cross sells that we normally do, or the inventory and retail. But our membership model is we only do coach-led, appointment-based training. So there is no actual base membership, but I would say on average, people pay anywhere between about $99 per month to train with us, several times per month, or up until we have memberships that are as high as $600 and $700 a month. And so what's been critical has been what we've defined as our VIP membership, which is anybody that pays us over $200 per month. From day one, they have been the group we have worried about. Because it's not that hard to say, okay, you're paying $150 a month, we can offer virtual training. No problem. And there's been zero pushback, a ton of value. People are thrilled. The problem was going to be when we have these members who are used to getting soft tissue work or used to getting specialized targeted workouts that are now in their living rooms going, okay, is this worth $400, $500 I'm paying?
So how have you overcome that specifically? How have you worked with that VIP group to retain them throughout this period?
So ultimately in a downturn with the economy, you have to just add value. So basically what you can charge is completely defined by what the market's willing to pay, right? It's just basic economics. And so we said, okay, anyone will pay $400 a month for what? Well, maybe what was worth $400 a month last month, we should be blissfully insecure about what that is now. And so we've remained highly insecure about the value that we're putting out there. And I think it's okay this time because we're creating all these new scenarios. So for example, with our VIPs, we said, okay, what are they going to value? Well, we've taught them that an hour of our trainer's time, a senior coach's time, is $125 an hour. Give it to them. Give them a bonus exclusive session because of their membership level that we offer, that unique experience. We offer customized programming in addition. Hey, can we build you 3 to 5 personal workouts based on the home equipment or your home gym setup that allows you to train the way you like to with us, but in your environment? If you don't have specialized equipment, can we get you specialized equipment? Because as we're standing in this huge empty space, we are basically an Amazon fulfillment house for equipment that a lot of times is on back order for 4 to 5 weeks. And so here we have, at first we started with renting, and my husband is great. He rents equipment for $50 a week. I said, that's crazy. But he goes, some of this equipment's $600 and they can't get it for 5 weeks. Maybe they rent to buy. Either way, our model was either they could buy it from us, they could rent it from us. We can go replace it at wholesale. We make margin. It's good for us. It's good for them. They get it sooner. But with our VIPs, there was no nickel and diming at all. Like, we had everything to prove in the relationship. And so we have just continually surveyed, asked questions, been in touch. What do they need? What do they want? What are they missing? And realizing we've essentially been redefined as a mental health and almost a soulful sanctuary for so many people, where fitness is so secondary now to the chaos and the peace that they used to get and the chaos that they're experiencing in their homes. Like, we create this value by being something familiar in that time.
I love hearing about that strategy, because I know that connecting with a VIP section of our membership is not an area that we've explored before. And I love what you were talking about in regards to the value offering of what we're putting out there. And one of the things that came up for me as you were talking through that is that you've obviously been able to continue to engage your staff. And I know that every country is a little bit different as to what the government support has been. So have you been able to continue to employ staff throughout this time, I assume, to service your members?
I've not laid anyone off. So it's been, but I guess my mindset has been like, I'm an entrepreneur at heart. So is my husband. Like, we live for this stuff. Like, there are so few events in our life right now where we can say there was an absolute new territory to conquer. And I feel that this is what we're being offered right now. And so when we just got engaged with it, and we just realized we don't want to hunt. If we're hunting for business, we're not hunting alone. I've got the most skilled trainers on the Central Coast of California, without a doubt. I can build them out. Like, give me something to do. I can go and find them work. I am not letting them go sit on unemployment. Like, those are my people, and we hunt as a tribe, and we're so much more successful because of it. And I need them. We've been building. One of the key pieces that we know, there's a couple objections that I've heard from small business owners in fitness that are really holding them back from engaging, and they're on the sidelines watching and waiting and half insecure about not joining, but not wanting to make the wrong choice. And it's this really uncomfortable place. But the biggest thing I could say is that what makes you unique is your culture. And your people are your culture. If you get rid of them and it's just you, all of a sudden, the owner of the gym or the club showing up to try to offer some culture, it's going to be a little bit hard. So maybe there's a way to re-engage, especially with some of the payroll protection programs coming out, a way to re-engage your team, even if you have put them on unemployment till you knew what to do next. And bringing them back in, because they're calling members, they're getting equipment, they're doing so much heavy lifting. We've done more customer service hours, as you can imagine, in the last 3 weeks than we have probably the whole year. And so it is just so refreshing. And each one of them will say, gosh, this person is on the fence. Who has the best relationship with them? They're on the phone with that person, speaking their language, tough love or sugar, it doesn't matter. Like, they know what that person needs to get bought in. And it's been very vibrant because the team is working together, and I couldn't do it without them.
Yeah, what a great answer. Thank you so much. And when you were talking through that, I was thinking, it's like having a key account manager, and as you say, like going, okay, so who's got the best relationship? And rather than it being with a business, it's with an individual in this particular case. So congratulations on being able to structure things in a way that you are able to keep your employees employed and engage with the business and with the clients. And Paden, one of the things I'm wondering, and this is for your VIPs and for your overall member database, how many times a week would you have touch points with the members at the moment? Like various touch points, email, phone call, video workout. Like how many times during a week currently would you have a touch point with each of the members?
It's so different. And I wish I had a more exact number, but the introverts need space, right? They've given you the answer, let them be. So you make a note, okay, follow up with them in a week's time, right? Maybe 1 week is plenty. For the extroverts that are just inhaling 6 workouts a day, almost to the point where you're worried about their health and sustainability, they are just constantly wanting to be engaged with. Another reason why having a 10-person team or several person team engaging online is giving more touch points than you can even track. So I would say it's the entire gamut, but we definitely have a working spreadsheet where we are identifying who has yet to, anyone on the fence, any objection, any concern, any whiff of discontent. And then we are proactively reaching out.
Yeah, I love that. And Paden, one of the areas that I'm keen to understand, because what you have done is, gone headfirst into an amazing strategy. You're on the front foot from the beginning. Have there been any challenges? Have there been any roadblocks along the way, or has it all been smooth sailing?
The biggest roadblock is we are not technology people. So just honestly, the amount of trial and error, and did someone get the Zoom link to the group fitness class? Do they even have a Facebook account to join the Facebook group? Like, what are the barriers? And then all of a sudden the team is mobilized when they're on the phone. They're now tech support as well. And so I think that's been a hurdle for us, as well as bandwidth. We definitely had to increase our bandwidth because now we were offering about 125 classes per week before COVID. We're at 85 right now virtually. And so we've got 3 people running complete live streams for an hour, and it's just being one step ahead of what could go wrong when you start, compounding the effects. And so I think that's been a definite challenge and learning curve for us.
Absolutely. And tell me, if you were to stand here today and look back at what you've done so far, what you've learned along the way, what strategies you've applied, what sort of advice would you give to other operators out there as to how they can really move forward during this time? Because as we identified upfront, everyone's in a slightly different scenario. Some people may still be engaging with their members. We know that others haven't, but what sort of advice would you give to people to just embrace this situation? You have come into it with this entrepreneurial mindset, and I know not everyone faces things in that same way. So what type of advice would you share with other owners and operators out there?
I'd say a few things. Imperfect action is better than no action. And the grace that your members will give you through this chaos, just trying, is like going to Paris and trying to speak French. They don't expect it to be perfect, but they do appreciate the effort. So don't let the perfectionism hold you back. The second would be find somebody who's done it. It's okay to not have a plan, but find someone who's executing a plan and piggyback on the plan. So that's what I would say, is find someone that's done it, that's not just a marketing guru trying to take advantage of your misery, quite honestly. I see a lot of that. Find somebody that's done it, find somebody that's willing to share, and ask for help. We are like, none of us, I don't care if you're in my same town or not, I don't want to see you go out of business. I don't. You have something unique. Your members are missing you. They're doing what we've all done at times, and they're trolling through YouTube or Instagram, trying to find someone that speaks to them the way you did. So if you're not an entrepreneur trying to get all excited about the opportunities to become a millionaire overnight, hey, I get it, sort of. That does energize me quite a bit. But be the bleeding heart. Take service, just come from a place of service and realize that no matter what you're afraid of, your members miss you. No one else can be you. They trust you, and just get creative about how you meet them there. And when in doubt, survey them, because they will tell you.
Oh, yeah. I love that survey idea. And I'm going to kind of bring everything to that last point as a matter of fact, because I think you've already shared some great tips for our owners and operators out there. Let's wrap all of this up with our Keep Me Fit Inspiration. So for today, when it comes to that engagement, that direct engagement with our members, if you were to survey your members at this point or recommend that survey as you just did, what are some of the key touch points that you would be asking them at this point in time?
How are you doing? What's missing for you? What are you struggling with? And how can I help? It'd be those 4 questions.
So keep it really nice and simple, but just reach out to them.
A lot of open forms for them to just fill with their adjectives, their struggles, etc. And that allows you to pick up that phone, connect with them, and have a lot more to go off of and be ready to serve.
Absolutely brilliant. Paden, I just want to thank you so much because you've given us a very different perspective on how you are thriving, as you described it, you know, surviving and thriving during a very challenging time for everyone. And congratulations to you on the work that you've done to keep your members active throughout this time. It really is inspirational. I really admire what you've been able to do and the fact that you got onto it so quickly at a time when so many of us were hitting the panic button and not knowing what to do. And you've got some very lucky members out there that are obviously staying very engaged with the business. So congratulations to you and to all of the team.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, Paden, one last thing before we wrap up today, because you and I were having a bit of a chat earlier on, and I believe that there is a specific resource that you have created to actually help other owners and operators out there during this current period in time. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, back when I knew we had to take action, I sat down and wrote, okay, what are the 3 phases that we're going to go through to migrate the entire business online? And so I called it the Fitness Business Owner Playbook COVID-19, and it is a free resource I'm happy to make available. There's a lot of a step-by-step, it's definite stream of consciousness. Even things like ask wealthy family members for money to protect your mindset. So, I mean, if you really want to get inside my head on how we progress through this, I will welcome you to that resource. Hopefully there's something for you there, and best of luck to you.
Well, thank you so much for making that available to all of the FBP families. So we will definitely grab that link. We'll pop it below the video right now. If you're listening to the audio version of this, then you guys know what to do. Go to fitnessbusinesspodcast.com and check out the show notes for that link as well. So Paden, look, thank you once again so much for joining us. I'm really excited to check out that playbook and look inside your head, as you said, at the 3 different phases. So thank you once again for joining us today. And a very special thank you also to our friends at MX Metrics. Thank you so much for all of their support throughout COVID-19 as well. Paden, thank you once again.
Thank you, Chantal.